all, Gemini here. Today I just thought I'd take you through some of my tarot collection, what I have for tarot decks. I know a lot of people seem to like these kind of videos. Pardon the no makeup. It's been a hot sunny day here. Put makeup on, it just melts right off. So I just thought I'd take you through. I don't have a lot here, but I'm going to make it as quick as I am because I know I love these videos too, but sometimes like an hour plus is a bit too much. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to start with my Rider-Waite, my different versions. I have this itty bitty little one. It was in a tuck box, which absolutely sucks, so I put it in our organza bag right now. It does have the little booklet that comes with it, all the normal information. And it's just a very, very, very tiny pocket size. So this is my baby tarot. So this one's nice. It goes in my bag, my purse. It's easy to take with you, which I do sometimes on the run if I have to. Then I also got it, which is the exact same, just in the normal size, in the regular tarot size, with the yellow box. This one also has the plaid backing. And basically the same thing, same booklet and same size cards. And these were my first Rider-Waites that I bought, and they're not bad, but I think like many people, it's just hard to get into them. I was really trying to figure out why I could not connect so well with this deck, and I think it's just these bright, in-your-face colors, just something about them, that yellowish, almost a greenish too. It's just, it wasn't my thing, but you know, but they were great to learn on right away. There's a lot of decks you can learn. You don't have to necessarily learn on a Rider-Waite, but if you do want to know that system, I would suggest buying them. They're inexpensive decks, and they are a really good jumping off point. The next one I have is the original tarot. I actually won this. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember her channel. Terra from Desert Cauldron. So I won this from her. It comes to it's a same thing. It's all the Rider-Waite. It just has a nice little hard plastic book, which is nice, and it is in color. So it's very simple instructions. And then the backings are like this. And once again, it's still got the bright color, not quite as bright as the plaid backings. I'll put these on order. So this one goes in my traveling altar. So that way I have a Rider-Waite wherever I go, go on trips or whatever, I bring those with me. That's one of the decks I keep in there. The next one is Radiant Wise Spirit, which is also Rider-Waite. I purchased this from somebody on one of the Facebook pages that was selling their tarot deck. So I decided to get it because this one out of all my Rider-Waites, it's got the booklet. They're not in color, there's no pictures, but it's all right there. These are the backings. And I love the colors of these. There's no borders, it's borderless, which I love. But as you can see, just the colorings are they're more muted, but this one I really jived with. So out of all my Rider-Waites, I have to admit that this is my favorite. And then of course, like I said, the box it comes in, it's a hat box. So that's really nice and sturdy. Now going on to, this was actually my first tarot deck I ever bought. I did not start with Rider-Waite, even though I know I just suggest that you do, but I did not. I got the Triple Goddess, which is basically a Rider-Waite clone. It follows the system. So this is my first deck I ever had, so I've had this for many years now. It comes with a little pamphlet book, no pictures. These are the backings, and then in the front. And it's a real beautiful, it's definitely more feminine based. They have some men in there as far as knights and the kings and such. And it's a really pretty deck. And actually, for being, I don't know what it is about this deck. This deck can be a very good shadow work deck as well. It's definitely got a little darker vibe to it. And it's borderless, of course. So like I said, this is the very first deck I ever bought. And it does follow the Rider-Waite pretty well. So it's just a really nice deck. I enjoy it very much. Let's go to my second tarot deck that I ever bought, which is decided to go completely different than anything of the Rider-Waite. The Dreams of Gaia by Raven Fionn. And actually this one I got at Barnes & Noble, of all things. Comes with, as you all know, probably the best guidebook. I mean, this thing's so in depth and it goes through a lot of things. Does not really, well, it doesn't follow the Rider-Waite system per se. It's definitely different. So, but I want to make sure I'm saying it. Raven's, her artwork is just impeccable, as we all know. That's the cover one. It's vibrant. It's beautiful. It's colored. They are pretty big cards, as you can see. Mine are not gilded at all. I do not edge or gild it. It's just not my thing to mess with my decks. Probably because I don't want to mess them up. I'm always worried about that. But like I said, she has like, oh, absolutely gorgeous deck. So that was the second deck I ever bought. So I kind of really jumped in the deep one with that, but I really connected with it and I understood it. And I read the book, of course, that came with it, and I was really able to get great reads from it. The next one I got is tattoo art. This one, you know, I think it's one of those that's a, you know, I don't want to say a ripoff, but it's not like from the original maker because it came with no book. I think we're all familiar with this one, but I did like the artwork. It's got the red backings. And this is definitely a pip deck, as most of you who are familiar with tarot are. It's a pip deck, so it takes a little more getting used to, but once you get your system down, you know, it reads very well. And so yes, that's the tattoo. Next, we're going to go on to Everyday Witch Tarot by Deborah Blake. I love this deck. This is such a fun deck. Now that I have more decks in my collection, I tend to pull this one out in the fall. I just find it's a real nice fall deck. But sometimes I do it, and I do it for readings when I do other people. They seem to really like it and get good reads from it. And it comes with a beautiful book, very big, full of information, colored pictures. So nice book. Borderless, of course. And it's just a fun deck. Makes me feel like, I don't know, I'm in like medieval Harry Potter times. I just really enjoy this. This one really just, it's a, you know, it's just a really fun deck. I know some people went because some scenes might have like a motorcycle, and I thought it was like, well, that's too modern because you're not in medieval times, but I don't know what it is. But it just, for me, it resonates. Maybe it's because I'm a biker, you know, Harley chick here. But I absolutely love this deck. So once again, that was The Everyday Witch by Deborah Blake. Now I have, which is what I'm working with right now for most of my daily reads, it's The Mermaid Tale by Lisa Robinson. Also comes in a box like Everyday Witch, which is, I love those boxes. The only problem is they are big, but they're beautiful, but that's why I store them. I don't really store too many of my, most of my stuff stays in the box for the most part, except for when I'm using it. I have a couple that I don't. This once again comes with a beautiful book. Colored pictures, very nice. The backings. And being summer, especially up here in Vermont, I just want to feel that ocean feel. Borderless. It's a beautiful read. Some people think this is like, oh, it's light and fluffy. It can be, but there's actually some pretty deep, I've gotten some very deep reads on this. It can really definitely kick you in the ass when you need it, but can also be loving and gentle at the same time. It's a really beautiful deck. So once again, that's The Mermaid Tarot by Lisa Robinson. This one I just got about a month or so ago, 2 months ago, is the Everyday Tarot deck. And let me see who does this one. This one is Bridget Esselmont. And these are the backs. So these are pretty good. It's a Rider-Waite system. And a pip at the same time. Kind of got a little bit of everything. I like the coloring on it. I think that's very nice. It's also a nice travel size one. The box it comes in, most of you are familiar with that box. It's got the flap, it's all nice, but that plastic that's in it drives me crazy. So I basically got rid of that box, and it lives in this organza bag now just because, sorry, that box is shit. But it's a really pretty deck. And this is also really nice to just travel with, take with you if you want to do something quick. Then another one I actually keep in this bag, which I got from Mickey Mueller. She has an Etsy shop, and I got my Hecate on there. And that is Modern Witch. We're all familiar with Modern Witch Tarot. So this one I use a lot. I haven't used quite as much because not my collection's growing, but this is my go-to. I tend to, for the most part, on my Instagram page, I do a week ahead draw, 1-card draw. I might up that some more, but doing that right now, and this is the deck I use. It comes with a nice little hardcover book, and I think we're all familiar with this. The cardstock is pretty stiff. It's a chunky deck. Chunky, as we all know. As I've used it over the years, it still holds up great, looks gorgeous, but it's definitely a little bit more easier. The cards have become easier to work with. And it's a lovely deck. And I love it because of the all-inclusivity. You know what I mean? You have same-sex couples, you have different ethnic origins, you have, it's just really nice and diverse. You have different sizes. Basically, it's kind of like real world. You have young and old. It's a little bit of everything. So that was the Modern Witch. My next is the Marigold Tarot, illustrated by Amrit Brar. It's plastic, but I love it. This is the backings. And it's definitely a plastic with a linen finish, but it's definitely a plastic deck. But this thing will hold up forever and a day. I mean, And this one I like. I do this one on new moons, full moons, Samhain time frame. A lot of times just almost all of October, but I definitely like to use it for the moon phases to read with. And it's just, I really, really dig this deck. My next few are fairly new to my collection. The Light Seers. I bought this for myself for my birthday, which was a little while ago because I really loved it. Comes with a book, and actually, if you see, it's a pretty good chunky book. They're not in color, but they do have the pictures. And this is by Chris Ann. I think we're all familiar with the backings, and it's another borderless. I have to admit, I don't know, the borders don't really faze me too much. I do find I tend to like borderless a little more, but they don't. But this deck, I just did a reading. Oops, that one's upside down for some reason, because I tend to not do reversals. It's just not my gig. I don't read them that way. If the question that I'm asking would be more of a reversal, like, what it's holding me back, or things of that nature, then I read them as if they were a reversal. But yeah, I don't know why some of these are. This is weird. I never do this. Have them upside down. Must be the way I shuffled them one time. Because I just did a reading for a very dear friend with these, and yeah, she loved them. So that was my Light Seer. So I'm still getting to know this deck. Like I said, I've only had it for a couple weeks. Used it quite a bit. I'm getting used to it, and I just really love it because it's a very modern vibe. Now, the next three are probably my absolute babies. The Sacramento Carol, or the Sassy Burrito Tarot. And this is by Stasia Barrington. So I ordered this from her. I love the box. It's a nice, regular box. But yeah, this is my baby. I love this. Comes with a nice little booklet. And then gold gelding, which is just gorgeous. And this one I've just started working with too, because as I said, I just bought this one for myself for my birthday as well. So I've only had her for a couple weeks as well. So I had a couple of them come in, a couple of them came in like within a couple weeks, like 2 weeks of each other. Like I've had like 3 decks, 4 decks, well, 3 tarot decks and some oracles. So I'm just starting to get used to them. But I really like the work on here. Just really, the few reads I've done with it, I'm still working on it. I said I haven't read for anybody else with it yet, but from what I got, it reads very well. The artwork's just beautiful. I really am enjoying this deck. Next is the Fidia Rosa Tarot by Leela. And all of this, I've shown you once before. This is what my mother-in-law, love her, got me for my birthday. I kind of have it too because I'm learning this deck because it's a very different system from anything I have. And so I'm learning this one. So I do 1 card draw a day, read it. It's absolutely beautiful deck. The only thing is, it's nice, but this is how the booklet is. Not my favorite. So everything's very like a 1-2 lines, telling you what the card is. So you really have to go on your intuition. I go on what I know from WRS, but it doesn't even quite go that way at all. So the cards can have quite different meanings. But I'll show you this part. This is ones I haven't gotten to yet. Love the backings. The cardstock is gorgeous. And this deck is stunning. Stunning. I saw this on Olivia's channel, The Witch of Wonderlust. She has this deck, and every time I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. And at that point, I still was kind of, I knew tarot and I had my own decks, and I didn't want to go crazy, but I'm starting to go crazy. Instead of a cat lady, I'm a tarot lady. But it's absolutely beautiful. So as you can see, though, if you're looking at it, yeah, you got the suits, you got the major arcana, but it reads very, very different. So I am learning this deck. This is my daily draw deck. And last but definitely not least is Pocket of Peers. This one is, it's like, look at this box. Look at this box. Oops, sorry, throwing some stuff down. This is 81 cards, I believe. Yeah, I think this has 81 cards. And these are 3 that are not the extra ones. You have a teacher, or is that this? Yeah, and the study. But so those are just extra cards. Actually, I've used them before, and they read great with that. Backings and yellow. And just this deck, I think out of all my decks, which I love them all, like I could never pick, just a few to take with me because they all have a special place in my heart, which I think we all kind of get that way. But this deck, it reads beautifully. I mean, it really does. When I got this deck, because this is a independent run deck, and when I first got it, I just thought, it's beautiful. I enjoy it. And it'll be one of those collector ones, and I'll probably just bring it out to look at it once in a while. And, but as you know, when you get a deck, you got to try reading for it. And when I did, oh my gosh, the readings. I mean, look at that death card. It's just gorgeous. And he's sexy. And I love seeing all the different people in it from the tarot community. Some I know, some I don't. But this deck just hits home. I mean, it just, bing! lasers right in there and gives you the reading you need. So that was my tarot collection. I only have one other that I guess I should. My friend gave it to me, and I can't even think of the name of the deck. Isn't that awful? But I think a lot of you have seen them. I can't think of the name of it. She bought it for me, and I actually took just online way back. It was through Lisa Pappas, and she had Tarot for Dummies, and I said, well, why not? Just because it gives you a keyword for each one. So I did this deck with that one, so I could write on it, because even though a friend gave it to me, the friend that gave it to me, she had it. She'd never done tarot, so, and it's a pip deck. But I can't even think of the name of it, and I feel so bad. But that's what that deck is. So I hope you all enjoyed this, and I've been getting really caught up watching tarot decks. I'm trying to be good. I get them in my wish list, and I have to admit I've gone a little crazy buying them, but not too many. I don't know, what is it, 15, 16 decks. But that's it. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Take care.